Hey guys, this is Foster down here at Dugout Bait Tackle. We're going to take a deep dive into some jig fishing, just kind of like some 101s on what we need to look for and what you kind of want to look for when you pick out which jig you want to fish. Some of these jigs I designed myself, and then we're going to talk just about some other jigs, just some great techniques to fish and what you're looking for. Let's first start out, let's go heavier than anything. We're going to start out with like that football jig. So, you know, you've got this big whopping head. You've got a nice vertical line tie, horizontal, so that way you can actually drag it really well. It comes across them rocks really well. It doesn't get stuck because of the big head, so you can't get stuck in those big gaps. And you use this heavy weight so that way it gets down on the bottom fast. You can cause that reaction strike, and you can just get them to really look at it, cause a lot of emotion, disturb a lot of water with all the big trailer, flapping trailer that you have on this. You're going to want to use this football jig, like I said, when you're in that summertime, when they're looking for a big bite, a big meal. You want to throw this because you have a big body, a big presentation. You can also throw it a lot in the wintertime too, when you want to move something really slow, but in the summertime it works the best. So if we want to move down, say from a 3/4 ounce jig, you want to move down to about 3/8 half ounce Arky style head. You're going to want to use this predominantly around, like flipping some blowdowns, some docks, skipping around docks, stuff like that. We're going to go with this Arky head design. This is actually a Chattahoochee Jigs Arky head 3/8. You've got this in a custom color with some rubber, and you've got this in a green pumpkin blaze is the name of the color for them. Got this paired up with a Zoom speed crawl or ultra vibe speed crawl, and that's just because these claws move really fast and they move a lot of water, but it's not a bunch of water. It's subtle enough, but it's not crazy, so that you can still get their attention, but it's not a lot of drag on the rod, and still gives very good action for an extent. You got that in a green pumpkin color, and it pairs up very well. But with that Arky head, you're gonna, like I said, it's a very flat surface, so you can skip very well. It rolls over cover really well. It doesn't get hung up much because the weed guard and the head kind of keeps it protected. So that helps you, like I said, with the skip into the jig, flipping cover. This 3/8, you're going to have it as a really nice steady flow drop down, especially with the claws keeping it kicking the whole time with that jig trailer. Now, this being full silicone is going to fall faster, of course, than your rubber. Your rubber is going to have a bigger surface area, pick up more water, so that'll slow it down, give you a slower drag and a slower rate of fall. Not depending on which trailer you throw, just purely on the material is what you're going to get. Now, if you wanted to even slow down the 3/8 even more, you could of course come back to the same trailer that you would throw on like a football jig, have a bigger, fatter trailer, and that can slow that down even more. So say you're fishing in 6-7 foot of water, skipping docks, throwing on a tree, and you know that those fish are a little bit suspended and you want to keep that jig in their face a little bit longer, you can definitely, of course, go to another material, slow it down, or go to a bigger, wider trailer, and that can definitely slow down the rate of fall for you and give you a little bit extra bites. So after the 3/8 jig, we're going to jump over. We're actually going to talk about a finesse jig. And finesse can be, described in many ways. You can have, material can be finesse. This is actually a material they call frog hair. And so as you can tell, we'll compare it to the two. This material, this silicone material, is gonna be a lot thicker than this frog hair material that's gonna be a lot thinner. So this will pick up less water, but it'll still move a lot faster just because it's thinner. And so that can be a way that is considered finesse. A finesse jig can also be considered by the gauge of wire on the hook. You can see this is a very light wire hook. You can see I can play with it a little bit and bend it out. But if you wanted to go to, a full heavy guard, can't really bend that hook out much. I mean, you're really gonna have to give it some effort to bend it out. So with this jig being said, the finesse jig, you can go down on your line size. Instead of throwing your 17, 15, 20 pound test, you could throw your 10, your 12. And if you really wanted to be brave with it, you could go down to 8 if you really wanted to, when that bite's very finicky, very, it's tough, high pressure conditions in the weather, a lot of boats on the water at the same time, that's really when you want to get down to your finesse presentation with that lighter wire, the lighter material. Or you can even have the finesse jig as just smaller skirt material. So as I say, like, you don't want a full body skirt going all the way down to the bottom, you know, a full covers up the trailer, covers all of it up. You could just have that material a little bit shorter, trimmed up a little bit better, so it's not as big of a profile on the bottom of the lake. So, you know, it's just a smaller profile, less, just matches the bait a little bit better, especially in the wintertime. That's really when you're looking for that finesse presentation, and that's kind of your 3 things to look for in a finesse jig. Match that up with a trailer. I always go with that type of trailer is a Gary Yamamoto twin tail. I like that twin tail just because it doesn't have to have a lot of water to be able to make it move. So you don't have to move that jig very fast and very aggressively for that trailer to move, to give it a little bit of action to make those fish want to bite it. And that is a great trailer right there to throw in the wintertime. So guys, I hope this helps you pick out which jig to really throw and which jig you want to key in on to catch more fish. Thank y'all. Of course, you know, the Chattahoochee Jigs is my company. Y'all can find them at this location here at the Dugout Bait and Tackle. You can find them online at ChattahoocheeJigs.com, and we're also in 32 other different retailers around the country. So if you need them, you can definitely find them. On the website's really cool. We've got it to where you can build your own. So you can actually go in, pick out the material, pick your jig head, get what you want. I make it for you, and then I ship it straight to your door.
Nice.